It's 1242. It's titled 400 Years of African American History Commission Act. I'm a co-sponsor of this legislation. I worked with my colleagues to pass this act in the House. I look forward to the Senate also passing this bill. I believe it's important for all citizens of the United States to recognize the unique history, sacrifices, and remarkable contributions that African Americans have made to build our great nation, and educate the public on the arrival of Africans and their role in building this great country. It is equally important to understand the generational impact that slavery and laws that enforce racial discrimination had on our United States.
There would be no American history story without the full story of the contribution of Africans and African Americans to our combined history. And I can think of nothing more appropriate than taking this moment, and starting now, to create this commission, a federal commission, that would celebrate this story.
All we say to America is be true to what you said on paper. If I lived in China or even Russia or any totalitarian country, maybe I could understand some of these illegal injunctions. Maybe I could understand the denial of certain basic First Amendment privileges because they haven't committed themselves to that over there. But somewhere I read of the freedom of assembly. Somewhere I read of the freedom of speech. Somewhere I read of the freedom of press. Somewhere I read that the greatness of America is the right to protest far right. And so just as I say we aren't going to let any dogs or water hoses turn us around, we aren't going to let any injunction turn us around. Well, I don't know what will happen now. We've got some difficult days ahead. But it really doesn't matter with me now because I've been to the mountaintop. I don't mind. Like anybody, I would like to live a long life. Longevity has its place. But I'm not concerned about that now. I just want to do God's will. And He's allowed me to go up to the mountain. And I've looked over and I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land. So I'm happy tonight. I'm not worried about anything. I'm not fearing any man. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord.
We are oppressed. We are exploited. We are downtrodden. We are denied not only civil rights, but even human rights. So the only way we're going to get some of this oppression and exploitation away from us or aside from us is come together against the common enemy. Who taught you to hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin to such extent that you bleach to get like the white man? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose and the shape of your lips? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet? Who taught you to hate your own kind? Who taught you to hate the race that you belong to? So much so that you don't want to be around each other. No, before you come asking Mr. Muhammad, does he teach hate? You should ask yourself, who taught you to hate being what God gave you? And I, for one, as a Muslim, believe that the white man is intelligent enough. If he were made to realize how black people really feel and how fed up we are without that old compromise and sweet talk. Stop sweet talking him. Tell him how you feel. Tell him what kind of hell you've been catching, and let him know that if he's not ready to clean his house up, if he's not ready to clean his house up, he shouldn't have a house. It should catch on fire and burn down.
I come here today to talk about how I feel. And I feel like that we are treated differently than other people, and I don't like how we're treated, and just because of our color doesn't mean anything to me. I believe that
you're doing great. You're doing a great job.
Don't stop. Do not stop.
we are black people and we shouldn't have to feel like this. We shouldn't have to protest because y'all are treating us wrong. We do this because we need to and have rights.
Go ahead. Let her talk. Go ahead.
I've been born and raised in Charlotte, and I never felt this way till now. And I can't stand how we're treated. It's a shame that our fathers and mothers are killed, and we can't even see them anymore.
That's right.
It's a shame that we have to go to the graveyard and bury them. And we have tears, and we shouldn't have tears. We need our fathers and mothers to be by our side.
This is Glendale, Queens, in the city of New York. A Negro mother speaks.
In order to get a better education for our children, we were ready, willing, and anxious to go to other schools. We had been asked that the parents not go to Glendale because of the tension from the parents in Glendale. The schools to which we were going, the parents of those schools did not want our children there.
Children from Bedford-Stuyvesant's overcrowded schools were being transferred to the spacious ones in Glendale.
Some of the parents did not send their children. However, the ones that were anxious for their children to get a good education, they didn't fear anything, because when you are anxious to achieve something, you forget about fear.
For more than a year, racial tensions in the South had been higher than usual, since the Supreme Court ruled in Brown versus Board of Education that segregated schools were unconstitutional. The decision touched a raw nerve in the white South, and many organized to preserve white supremacy. For years, groups like the Ku Klux Klan practiced terrorism. Despite national black protests, public murders of blacks were common, and the mobs who committed them went unpunished. In the previous 70 years, there had been more than 500 documented lynchings in Mississippi alone. Coming from Chicago, Curtis Jones and his cousin Emmett Till had little sense of the world they were entering when they arrived in Money, Mississippi.
Emmett Till was, at the time, he was 14 years old. Had just graduated out of grammar school. He had some picture of some white kids that he had graduated from. That was, female and male. So he told the boys down there, hey, you got around this store? This must have been around about maybe 10 to 12, youngsters around there. That the girls was his girlfriend, So one of the local boys said, hey, there's a girl in that store there, so I bet you want to go in there and talk to her, So he went in there to, get some candy. So When he was leaving out the store, after buying the candy, he told us, said, "Bye, baby."
Sunday morning, about 2:30, someone called at the door. And I said, "Who is it?" And he said, "This is Mr. Brian. I want to talk with you and the boy."
4 days later, Emmett Till's body was found in the Tallahatchie River.
The boiler was so badly damaged that we couldn't hardly just tell who he was, but he happened to have on a ring with his initials, and that cleared it up.
It took the jury an hour to find the men not guilty. Months back north to Chicago, where Mamie Till Bradley insisted on an open casket funeral. "So all the world can see," she said, "what they did to my boy."
Oh, pilgrim of sorrow, and I'm left in this old wide world.
Jet magazine showed Till's corpse, beaten, mutilated, shot through the head. An entire generation of young black people would remember the horror of that photo.
No, for tomorrow.
A cross on fire. They are known as the Invisible Empire for a reason. They thrive in secrecy, almost never permitting outsiders access. Who are they?
I could be your neighbor. You don't know who I am. You could think the world of me, but yet, if you see me in this hood and knew who I were, your whole thoughts could change.
I've been a fireman. I've been in the Navy.
The people wearing these robes walk among us.
If you want to be in the Klan, fight for the Klan. I fight for it 7 days a week.
Witness the Ku Klux Klan this summer
White power!
in Martinsville, Virginia.
White power!
Oh, I tried to shoot to put them down. We didn't try to shoot and kill.
Oh, okay. So did you
killed a number of them.
How many did you kill roughly?
Cares matter.
Yeah, I hear you.
It doesn't matter. They chose to die. They chose to commit suicide. They opened up on us, so we fired back.
It makes me sick. It makes me sick to my stomach to even, you know, hear that guy talking about how many people they shot, killed, and, you know.
One man shot in the days after Hurricane Katrina is Donnell Harrington. He shows the scars from a gunshot wound to the back. Harrington says he was in Algiers Point a few days after the storm when a vigilante fired at him with a shotgun.
We was just walking through the neighborhood.
Do you have any problem with looters?
Harrington says he was not looting or causing any problems.
You know, that was just an opportunity for them to, you know, to do just what they did, you know, for their own personal reasons.
Harrington couldn't say for sure if Gleason was the man who shot him.
The only thing I remember him saying is a bunch of, you know, racial slangs, using the N-word.
During the protests after a police shooting in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, Aisha Evans stood her ground. She told Gayle King of CBS This Morning that she stepped up after seeing an officer adjust his weapon.
So how does it go from that to you are now nose to nose with police officers?
I'll be honest, I just felt the urge to just walk into the street, and I needed to see them. I needed to see the officers. I needed to see their faces.
So Aisha, you just walk in the street, even though you're told not to walk in the street, and you stand nose to nose and you don't say anything?
Nothing.
And what are they saying to you?
Nothing. It was silence. It was a lot of nonverbal communication.
What did you want your silence to say?
I'm human. I'm a woman. I'm a mom. I'm a nurse. I could be your nurse. I could be taking care of you. You know, our children could be friends. We all matter. We don't have to beg to matter. We do matter.
You as citizens! You as citizens! U.S. It does not make any sense to do this to them. It doesn't. Stop hurting these people, man. Why y'all do this to our people? I've been to Iraq 14 months for my people. You come over here and hurt them. They don't have guns. They don't have guns. They don't. Why are you hurting these people? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. How do you sleep at night? There is no honor in this. There is no honor in this. There is no honor in this, man. There is no honor in this shit. There is no honor in this shit. There is no honor in what you're doing to these people. No honor.
But I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land. So I'm happy tonight. I'm not worried about anything. I'm not fearing any man. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord.